Welcome to Gunfire Reborn. This is basically, it feels a little bit Borderlands-y, and we're going to be reviewing it. And also a huge thank you to the developers for giving me a key for this game. But just quickly before we get into the video, I have a goal to reach 100k subs by the end of 2020, and a lot of you are not subscribed to the channel. So head down to below the video, press the sub button, turn on notifications for when YouTube can be bothered to send them out, and share the video with your friends, family and pets. There's also a join button if you want to show extra support, with perks including 10% off all my merch. Link is below for that too. Thank you, I will see you soon, enjoy the video. So, literally, you're going to launch this game up, they're going to throw you straight into a tutorial, which is pretty cool because it gets you to grips with the mechanics, how the game works, you get to use your ability, and it's a simple level. It's only short, it doesn't last like half an hour like some tutorials can. Then you go and you start doing adventures. There's different loot you get with inscriptions, you get other perks like there are scrolls which will give you boosts that last one game. For an example, there's one that will give you 1% HP for every element you apply on an enemy, and at the end of each stage there is a goblet which will boost your orb or your elemental damage. So you could find one that will allow you to carry 4 more smoke grenades, or there'll be one that allows your orb to freeze enemies in place for an extra 2 seconds. When I say inscriptions for weapons, you will get things like 100% magazine capacity, you'll get 50% rate of fire. Each weapon will be different when it drops. There is a cool art design in this game, and that's why it feels a bit Borderlands-ish, because you get your typical like stroke around everything in the game. That's the whole art design of Borderlands, to have this stroke around everything. And that's exactly the same with this game. There are enemies that feel fairly balanced, at least in the early game they do get tougher. Some of them occasionally will feel really overpowered, but it's quite a diverse bunch. There are a decent amount of enemy types. Like, this isn't a huge game, it's not a game that you're going to stick like 500 hours into. But it is good for the time you play. It's worth the value. It's less than £10. There will be a link to it in the description if you want to pick it up. Or at least check out the trailer, maybe read some more reviews on Steam and see if there's anything else that will help you make your mind up. There is a full skill tree. Basically, as you're progressing through the levels, through the stages, you will be killing enemies. Those enemies will drop a thing called essence or soul essence. And at the end of every run, because basically you start off on stage 1, you progress through to stage 4, stage 5 will be a boss fight, and then 6 through 9 will be normal stages, 10 will be a boss fight. There are currently 15 stages in total in the game, but a lot of enemies will drop soul essence, and when you die, you have to use it. You can't keep hold of this stuff. Like, you literally just get enough soul essence for your one run. So say you manage to gather 40 in your run, you would have to use it all before you go back to the inn, which is the place you start the adventures from, because if you don't use it, it gets taken away. But not only that, you can use your soul essence to revive yourself. If you die, like if you feel that you can clear that room and make progress, then you can use your soul essence. It costs normally around like 14 and maybe 16 soul essence to revive. It all depends how far into like the stages you are in that run. The skill tree will give you helpful perks. There will be one that costs 5 soul essence that allows you to like shoot these cracks on the wall. It'll open up a portal, you go through to the vault. It will give you powerful scrolls once you've completed it. You can also increase your max health, your max shield, your maximum ammo capacity for the different types of ammo. There are a lot of helpful things in that skill tree. Matchmaking, it's available at level 10, or you can play with up to 3 friends. I don't know why they've only allowed matchmaking from rank 10, but I did get myself up to level 10, did matchmaking, and I made it a lot further in one run than what I did in several runs by myself. You literally you're all working as a team. There's up to 4 players. The enemies are stronger to like balance itself out. The loot is pretty cool because in this game you have to do certain things to unlock weapons. So say in order to get a weapon you have to kill 10 fire lizards, which will be after the boss at stage 5. If you don't have weapons unlocked and someone else in your game does, when you matchmake, if they pick up that weapon because they've unlocked it and then they decide to switch it with something else and they drop it, you can then go pick it up. But it will not unlock for you just because you picked it up in game. You will still have to personally unlock it. There are boss fights, as I mentioned, every 5 stages, and these are definitely not a walk in the park. It took me 5 attempts over 3 hours of solo gameplay to take down the first boss. The boss is called Lu Wu, and it's like some kind of like tiger dragon thingy. I don't know what it's going for in its appearance, but it's crazy. It's tough to take down. It's got a few different attacks. You're constantly having to dash out of the way. They will spawn a few minions in, so you'll need a little bit of ad control, and it's incredibly tough. This is the first one. I haven't ever made it to the second boss, although I am currently level 16, so I've still got a long ways to go. And not only that, with the matchmaking, it can pair you with literally anyone. My first ever game matched me with someone that was level 42. Another thing I noticed as well with the first boss, in solo, this boss has 8,000 shield, 8,000 HP. When I went into the co-op game, there was 4 players. It was times by 7. This boss had 56,000 shield and 560,000 HP. It still felt easier. Like, I was never aggroed by this boss, but it felt easier. We were managing to deal a lot of damage to the boss, and we got it done first time. At the moment, there are only 2 different heroes in the game. There's a badass cat and a dog, which I haven't actually used yet. I've just used the cat. But the cat is pretty cool, and I do believe they are adding more heroes in the future. There is a logbook which will explain everything that's in the game. As soon as you unlock a weapon, you can go to your armory, you can have a look at the weapon. Once you found a scroll or something, you can go to your logbook, you can check it out, it will tell you exactly what it does. In the co-op, they have added the ability to revive, so you don't necessarily have to use essence. But this one match I played in co-op, we got to a vault, I believe it was stage 6, so just after the first boss. And there was like an elite enemy there, wasn't even a boss, and that elite enemy wiped all 4 of us out. So it wasn't even a main boss, wasn't like during a normal stage. We went into a vault, there was an elite enemy, and that's what ended our game. But if I was you and I was playing this, like, one tip would be get to level 10 as fast as you possibly can. Just farm that essence as much as you can. Because when you do a run in co-op, because there are more enemies, because they take longer to kill, you're going to earn more essence. I believe it was 116 essence I got from one co-op run, whereas I was averaging around 30 to 40 in a solo run. So as mentioned earlier as well, you can self-revive using essence, but if you're in co-op, you can get revived by your teammates, you can revive your other teammates. Single player, you don't have that option. You just go down, you either give up and quit, or you use the soul essence to revive yourself. At the moment, there are only the 3 different areas in the game with 15 stages altogether, and you literally just, it's a very grindy game. You just keep going back through the stages and you try and progress and get further, and that's all you do. You basically just rinse and repeat and just keep doing that over and over again. But it doesn't, I'm literally about 4 hours into this game, and it doesn't feel to the point where it's too repetitive, because the levels don't get boring too quick, they switch up all the time, so there's a lot of replayability, and that's what this game's going for, because you literally go in, start at stage 1, let's just say you die on stage 2, you have to quit, start a new adventure, and do the same all over again. And there are also a couple of vendors. You'll have one, there'll be a box that I've never used and I don't plan to use. It's a red chest, you open it up, it says to chat with it, and you can exchange some of your life for coins. But so far there's not really like a health regen thing, and you seem to die very quick in certain situations, so I never bother with that red chest. But there's a vendor that allows you to upgrade your guns, because it basically, if you pick up the cavalry gun, it goes +1, +2, +3, so on and so forth. You basically upgrade the level, dealing more damage. And there's also a vendor that will sell you a bun to replenish some of your health. He'll sell you an ammo refill, grenade refill, and those 2 vendors always sit outside the boss room. So don't worry about not having a lot of ammo getting to the boss and things like that, because there are vendors in the game as well. I would definitely recommend this game. It feels very, very good for a Steam Early Access release. And you'll see that by the reviews on Steam itself. The last time I had a look, there was well over 1,200 reviews, and they're about 96% positive. It's overwhelmingly positive, and it is for the right reasons. They plan to have this game in early access for around 2 to 4 months. The only thing I would say they could do a little bit of work on is the online servers. There was quite a bit of lag in certain areas where there were more enemies. We were moving around a bit more and dashing here and there. My ping was sitting at around 50 for most part, But other than that, it definitely deserves its reviews. It's a pretty good game. But this is literally early access. It depends what the developers do to it. And there are a few other factors. If they rush it out of early access too quick just to increase the price, because the price probably will go up, just because there'll be more features and more content in the game. So yeah, if you're interested, there will be a link in the description. But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.